Hey y'all, it's Sean ToGA, brother. You guys know what time it is. It's about another time I do another live video, except it's not really going to be live. It's going to be a little bit of an update, a little bit of a kind of a semi-issue update because I've had one recently and a lot of you guys are asking questions. So, recently, let's get this out the way. So I went to Pit Crew U. I went ahead and learned everything it really takes to be a NASCAR pit crew member. Cannot believe all the things these guys have to do in a matter of like 17 seconds. It's intense, it's real, it's big, it's crazy, it's thorough, it's restricted, it's everything. All crammed into 18 seconds. Because that's how usually the longest pit stop usually lasts. Now, sometimes they can last longer, but that's about the normal pit stop length. Anyway, okay, so I came back, and I went ahead and came home, and it was like a week later, and as you guys know, I get paid every other week, and I'm not going to sugarcoat this, guys. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I'm struggling, okay? But I'm also not going to tell you that this is mine. I own this, all this. Now, I do own that, and I do own this, not the rights to it, but I paid for this, right? It's mine, okay? I paid for this, this, you name it, okay? Okay? I make enough to where I can also just go buy these for like an event, okay? Because I work hard for my money means a lot to me, and they pay for my efforts. And in this day and age, the industry I work in, the aviation industry, you all know that it's significant. You have to pay attention. It's not for the faint of heart. It's a dangerous place. People get hurt. People get killed, as you've seen in the news. It's a very fast-paced environment. It's where people are the most stressed out because it's time constrained. It's on schedule. It's on time. Usually not a whole lot of delays. That's so on and so forth. So imagine trying to cram all that into one day each and every day. It's rather stressful, right? Okay. Now, this is just iced tea. It's not really just to let you guys know, this is not a beer, so you don't have to worry about all that, okay? Not that it would have mattered because this is my channel, I'm showing you this film, but I'm trying to be responsible here. I'm trying to be a responsible guy, okay? It is, I don't have my watch on, speaking of responsible, it's actually charging, okay? It's about 11:40, right? 11:40 at night, it's almost midnight. Notice I'm not making a whole lot of racket with that. You notice I'm not making a whole lot of noise with a video, with movies, because I respect people, okay? I'm going off on a tangent, and I'm sorry, but you guys know I'm here, I'm raw, I'm filtered, and that's the way we're gonna deliver it each and every single time, okay? Because the point is that I see the world differently, okay? I see things differently. As a matter of fact, when I came over here and I put my screen, my recording device, usually my iPhone 15, okay, Pro Max, and I'll go into why I picked the 15 Pro Max version for myself in a little bit. Not in this video though. I present things in a way that most people are like, but how did you get, wait a minute, but that, and that makes that. But hear me out, you forgot that and that. But because nobody told you typically about that and that, you never got the whole picture, right? So I'm here to tell you about these parts, but also these parts mainly because you didn't make the connection until I told you about these parts, part A and part B, because you have C, D, E, F, and G, right? In order to get the whole picture, the whole alphabet, you needed those two parts. That's why I'm delivering it raw and unfiltered. That's why you guys usually have to listen to me ramble and basically kind of go off on tangents and rant sometimes, because it's purposeful in the conversation. It adds value, it adds character. Okay, enough of that. So, what you guys were not aware of and what you guys may have seen is, go back in my channel and it's a short. And I showed you in one of the locations, I had about $150 spent. You know what I spent it on? Okay, what am I showing you? Okay, so as you guys may or may not know, my car plates got stolen. I live in Texas. I'm not going to disclose where, obviously. I say that all the time, but guys, there's creepy people that will find information, track you down, and hunt you maliciously because they just feel like it. It's their agenda. I'm not trying to go through all that. So I'm not going to disclose where I am. That's also why in some of my videos that you ask me where is it located, granted, I didn't tell you yet, because I don't need you knowing where I am, but if there's places like it, I'll tell you where you should go, okay? And one of these days I'm going to do an exterior tour of this place, which I yet to have still done. Granted, I have autism, so yes, I did forget about it, but not for long. Okay. So, my plates got stolen, okay? So, one night, I was driving from Walmart back home, and I knew that my plates were not on my car, because if they saw it, they would have flagged me, put me at a gunpoint, and asked me to step out the car, because the plate was stolen. The car was stolen. The plate is attached to the car is stolen, the car is in my possession. You get me? We're on the same page. Okay. So I removed the license plates so it wouldn't be flagged entirely, because I got pulled over, okay? Full disclosure, I'm going to tell you, I got pulled over, but they gave me a warning because I had proof of insurance, I was the legal owner, I was the legal driver, I was just out of state, so I haven't had a chance to get my plates changed over, hadn't had a chance to have my license changed over. It's a lengthy process. A lot of you guys go to the DMV, you fill out your paperwork, and you sit there for hours. And if you need to, you usually will get your license. Then, once you have your license, you're operated a motor vehicle, okay? Then you go back on that same line, that same queue line, you go ask the person at the queue desk and say, I need a form to register my vehicle, get plates. So you fill this form out. Still the same building, still the same facility, still the same seat and windows, okay? It didn't go anywhere. So then you go and you grab that form, you fill it out. It takes about 15, 20 minutes, depending on how lengthy it is and how detailed you need to fill it out, okay? And it takes about 5 minutes because there's not a lot of information. So I filled it out, and yeah. But normally in other states, you wait for your number to be called. That ain't how we do it here in Texas. If you need to get your plates done and registered, you go through your DMV. Now, if they're stolen and you need backup plates, guess where you go? The courthouse. Yes, let me repeat myself. You go to the courthouse. It's kind of a daunting process. However, when you go to the courthouse, there's a window, basically a room, a glass room, okay? You go in there, and there's a lady sitting at a desk and says, what do you need? I said, oh, I have stolen plates. I just need to get temporary tags. Tags meaning plates. Plates meaning license plates. Get it? Okay. So they said, all right, so go ahead and fill this form out. Sit down. I'm going to call you by number. And so I waited, went up to this podium. It looked just like a small town DMV location. Nothing changed. It's just in a courthouse. So if you had to go through the main hallway, you'd have seen district court, general court, circuit court, all these kinds of courts, right? These big old courtrooms. But that's where you get your license plate. Kind of weird, right? Not where you'd go. You'd go to the DMV, Department of Motor Vehicles, right? Okay. So I got up. It was like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I had been awake all night the night before. I know. My best friend has been getting on me and getting on my case about basically trying to find better hours, better, human hours, essentially. It's like trying to work up to getting awake at like 7 or 8 or 9 in the morning, right? But I'm inept to working 5 to midnight, right? It's just not 5, 3 to midnight. They're just my comfortable hours. I'm more alert, I'm more focused, I'm more quick, I'm more on the jump at 3 to midnight, okay? I couldn't tell you a 7.3 from a 777 at 7 a.m. in the morning. I'd have to look at it for a good 10, 15 minutes, go, oh, yeah, this one has cargo doors. Yeah, this one has multiple seats. Yeah, this one definitely has more landing gear wheels, okay? I'd have to do that in like 20 minutes, but like 3 in the afternoon, oh, easily a 737. Easily an Airbus. Oh, easily a 767. Huh, that's a regional plane. That's easy, right? So my brain works different hours of the day, as you guys would too. So it was about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I had gotten up and I was lying in bed, going through TikTok aimlessly, my thumb, going through Facebook, going through Instagram, check marking all the messages, the nonstop, other things that you would, usually check. Your DMs, your comments, your likes, all that, your shares, stuff like that. Okay, your stories, whatever you want to call them. Okay, so we've gotten past the fact that I've gotten up at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So I got up, got on a pair of jeans, got on a t-shirt, and I got on my sneakers, which were my city sneakers. They're Airwalks, but they're city sneakers. Okay, so I put those on, put on my belt, and I put on my hat, my ball cap, and I put in my contacts. And then I drove down the street to the DMV. Well, I drove to the DPS, Department of Public Safety. And that's where Texas, us, that's where they do all of your motor vehicle stuff, your registration, your titling, your ID, your license ID card, all that kind of stuff, okay? Your trailers, your motorcycle stuff, all that kind of stuff happens at DPS. So I was there, and I told them about my situation. They gave me a piece of paper, which was a temporary tag. It's in my car. I got it all, yada, yada, yada. And so while I did that, I explained, I'm going to need it for another 30 days. So what do I do? Well, you need to have this paperwork here. So she gave it to me and told me the process. So I got everything I need to go back and get my ID, my driver's license changed over from Virginia to Texas. But also my vehicle changed over from Virginia to Texas because they got to change plates, right? Because they were Virginia plates when they were stolen. But I'm in Texas, so you can't have another state out of state for a long time. You have to change them over. I'm autistic, I know this. But we as autistics have trouble with time management and organization. So that's why we're here where we are. Okay. So I got all that taken care of. I walked out and I'm just like, okay, I got one thing off my list that I needed to do today. So they said, you need to go over to, the courthouse, the DMV, get all that stuff done. So I left there, got everything I needed. And then instead of going, basically left, I went down to Walmart and I went and got a couple of items down there. Got some things for, the apartment and stuff of that sort. And I got some personal items to me, which you guys can sort of figure out. But yes, so while on that note, I took myself from there and I said, you know what? Let me go get my beard trimmed. Because guys, I think it's about time I lose it. I love it. It's just too much. People think it's eating me alive. It's just not good for my facial shape. So, yeah. Okay. This is not being gone. I'm keeping this. This. Okay? We're going to keep this. This. At some point, we're going to say goodbye to. Okay. So I said, all right, let me check to see Google Maps. Well, every place is going to close in 15 minutes. Pause the video because I'm about to use some unfiltered, raw words. I'm warning you. You guys were warned. I said, well, fuck. I don't really want to be the guy to walk in 15 minutes before closing and ask for a 45-minute job. I hate that guy. Matter of fact, I refuse to go into restaurants when they close in about 15 minutes and say, I need a full course. I need an entree, an appetizer, a soup, a salad, a dessert, and I want it pronto. That's not how life works. Don't be a dick. So I avoid that. And for those of you that do it, you are on my last nerves. But you do you, boo. You do you. Can't tell you what to do, but if it were me, it's kind of a dick move, if I'm being completely honest. So, anyway, where I'm getting at is, I was like, well, maybe I should just go back home and go, call it quits. So I started, but then I was like, I'm out. And I'm supposed to get temporary versions of what's on here. Foreshadowing, okay? It can't be that expensive. It's Monday. I don't work today. Tomorrow, I work at 3 p.m., 3:30 p.m. today. As I'm shooting this, it's today, but yesterday would have been today, right? And then today would have been tomorrow, which is today. Confusing, I know. Your brain's gonna explode, sorry. So I thought about it and I said, you know what? Life is short. I was gonna do it later. I have the money. I have the time. I definitely have the support system. My sister, my brother, my younger sister, my closest friends, my best friend, she's tattooed. Everyone that I know is tattooed, right? Hell with it. I'm gonna go get my tattoo. So I pulled up to this shop and I said, okay, I want you to do me a favor. I have this quote and I want you to tell me how much it's gonna run me. And they said, yeah, we usually charge about one hour. It's about $150, but we'll see how long it takes for you. We'll kind of go from there. What do you want? I was like, well, I want a quote. I wanted to say, you keep me safe, you keep me wild. But I want it offset in specific locations. So when I show you my forearm, it's not just going to be bunched right at like it's a wristlet, right? Like a gauntlet type thing. I want it to go through my whole arm, right? Because what if I was to put something meaningful here and then meaningful here? Well, you can still see the tattoo here and here and here. But if I did put this here, now that means I'd have to put one massive one here to keep the theme together. Well, now I can use two. So I have options. I'm all about options. When we in autism always compute things, I always compute things with options open to me, right? So when I park, I only say, oh, that's a good spot. But that spot will give me more space to open my door, get out comfortably. And if I have grocery bags, big boxes, big items, I can open my doors wide and shove them in there and move stuff around, put them on the floor, put them on the ground, you guys understand that? So I was like, well, I'll just do it this way. It's like, yeah. So I said, come on back, man. So we went back and we basically chatted. And I'm sorry this is a long one, but I'm trying to do this as a big update because a couple of things have happened and something major happened today, which scared me, dopeless, but it is what it is. And it's something I'm on the fritz of fixing, guys. I promise you. Okay? One sec. Actually, hold on for 1 second. All right? Nope, wrong one. So what we're gonna do is we're going to pour this. Ah, that smells good. It smells like Lucky Charms. Okay, weird, I know. Okay. So, yeah, I went ahead, we went back in the back, and he explained to me the process, had me sign this waiver, which was in Spanish, by the way, but I know enough, because I was in Peru, that I can say hi, thank you, no thank you, not necessary, yes please, on, off, up, down, left, right, all kinds of stuff. So, I knew what they was talking about. He basically broke it down, and he said that this Wi-Fi signal was basically, you know, bad, which... One of the things that I was like trying to scope out was, is this place legit? Is this place really legit going to take my money and walk out? Or is this place going to take my money, do the work, do it professionally, do it properly, do it safely, do it effectively, and really let me out the door with a great tattoo? That's what I felt like. So we proceeded on. And he basically went back and back, cleaned everything up, got it all out. And he basically came out to me after I was sitting in the chair, and he said, okay, here's what we're gonna do. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start here, and I'm gonna poke you once or twice. Now you tell me if you can handle that, because if you can handle that, I'm just gonna keep going, okay? And it's gonna be a little bit of a prick. Now, if you can't, we'll have to figure something else out, and you have to come back, right? So he went, bzz, bzz, and I was like, that was just like a mosquito basically poking my skin, breaking my, skin barrier, and just, sucking the blood out. But it's all it felt like. It's that initial into the skin, constantly several times. So he went ahead and did the first top half of it first. And then he left this part. And then he wiped it off, went ahead, went back over the ink. As you can see, it's really, 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 really good. I mean, guys, look at the detail that this guy did. This is insane. Okay. So then he basically said, okay, now we're going to put all this on you. It's called a Saniderm, which is basically a sanitary dermatologist tape, right? It's kind of like saran wrap. It's like really adhesive to your skin. Really, really, really strong. So like if you were to move at night and ink were to seep out, if like it was a really long tattoo with a lot of ink and color, what'll happen is the ink would seep out into this little pouch, right? This little plastic pouch. And as soon as it's done after the week, you could pull it off and it would be done, right? So that's what this is. So I was like, all right, good, I'm good to go. So I went home, I was sharing to all my friends, hey, I got a tattoo. And then a little while later, I was like, I'm hungry, I have to go eat. And I have to go get some things for the following day. I had to go get a couple of items. Oh, the tattoo aftercare. So... I don't want to go get it now, but I got Aquaphor, which is the cream, right? Which I should probably go get 1 minute. This is the cream that I got. It's called Aquaphor. It's the healing ointment, okay? I'm going to move this so you guys can see as I do this, because I'm going to clean my hands and then prepare this part of the tattoo again. This is like a degreaser, but it'll work for soap, okay? So then I went to Walmart, I got a few items, got the tattoo stuff, I got some gloves, some rubber gloves to do the work. That way if I had any issues, I wouldn't, worry about any real contact of oil, skin oil, all that nonsense to affect me, right? So that's what I went back and I got, okay? And I was like, I'm hungry. So I went and stopped at a place, but they were about to close. Again, I hate being the guy to have the close, right? So what ended up happening was I went to a place called Seven Seasoning Cajun Seafood, right? It was a seafood place. It was like a crawfish place, okay? Doing this very gently, guys. Super gently. Okay. Get you a new one. This is not tattoo aftercare video. This is just me talking while I'm doing something very important. Okay. So then I go to sleep, and I'm basically trying to take as much care as I can with this. Yada, yada, yada. Okay, so I wake up, it's about 12:30, and I'm like, what I need to do is get all of my things for the day, plus what I need to do is make sure I have the stuff to clean my tattoo, because I've read a bunch of articles, a bunch of videos, I've watched a bunch of videos, and they all say almost the same thing. In 24 hours of your initial tattoo, what you need to do is you need to apply a new fresh layer of this ointment or protective barrier, whether it be an ointment, whether it be the Saniderm, whether it be, other stuff, okay? So I packed all that, I went into work, got off the bus, went in there, checked in, got my first assignment, did my first download. I was good, feeling it, and I made sure to cover up my sleeve with those compression sleeves, right? I have those separate compression sleeves that you can just roll up to wherever you need to, so it'll start here and it'll end here. It's just a sleeve. It's not a full shirt, right? So I went ahead and I did that, okay? And as I did that, I had to make sure that everything else was okay. I had to make sure that, all the other things were, healthy. Like I had to make sure that my tattoo was good. I had to make sure everything else was good. Okay. So it's 5 o'clock. It's about 15:02, right? 17:02. Trying to come up with military time. I get this notification that my next assignment was going to be in the station, as in the airport. It was going to be in there in about 40 minutes. 40 minutes is a long time. If you count 60 seconds, do that 40 times. It's a long time. So I knew that I had time to go in the bathroom and wash up and apply my new coat, my new thing, right? So what ended up happening was I went in there and I took care of all the stuff. I brought in all my supplies. And you knew it was going to happen, right? If you saw me with all this, you knew it was going to happen. So then I decided to go down that route and get it all clean, wash up with soap and water. I pulled the tape off, the Saniderm tape off. I get a quarter of the way and I start getting woozy. I start getting lightheaded, tunnel vision, very blurred vision, very pinpoint type of vision where you can see everything in different colors and voices fade out and light just seems to darken and intensify at times. Uh-oh. Well, a couple minutes later, I hit the floor. I fainted. So I went ahead and said, all right, I need to go to the doctor. They said, you need to go check out the clinic. They need to see what's wrong with you. So I waited. They tried to check my, glucometer, my glucose levels, but they pricked me here and they pricked me here twice because they couldn't get a reading all 4 times. They tried 4 different glucometers too, different test strips, still couldn't get a reading. So they said, oh, your glucose must be so low that it's not reading it within the range. Sure enough, it was. It was low. So the nurse walked out, did a couple things administratively, like made my my chart, did some adjustments to my OJI. It's called an OJI. It's an incident that occurred while I'm on the clock. So they am doing all that, taken care of. So it's listen, what we can do here is just basic. What occurred to you, me, is brutally severe. You need to go to the ER. So I said, okay, what I'm gonna do is schedule an appointment to go to the ER and go have them look at my overall body, look at my thyroid, look at my chest, look at my head, look at all this stuff to make sure I'm good. Basically a physical, okay? Because this is serious stuff, right? I can't be fainting in an airport. It's the very first time I've ever fainted in an airport. As an employee, I fainted as a customer. I actually flopped right on the ground. And one of my best friends, they can attest to this because I was headed home right at that same token, and I basically said, I fainted. I was walking on board. I said, how are you doing? Bam! And I basically collapsed. Like that was it. That was it. I was seeing stars, basically. So, and in spirit of that, they was like, yeah, you can't fly. You're gonna have to stay here. I know you need to go home, but just work it out with your company. I'm sure they'll be understanding, but you can't fly. The pilot will not let you fly in this condition. He does not want to end up having to call an emergency diversion because you're having an episode and we can't fix you. So, but this was back in 18. It's now 2025 and I've had another episode. So you do the math on your fingers. That's how many years. So it wasn't of a concern to me. Now, you guys may be thinking differently. You guys may be, in a different mind frame. Oh, like, what are you doing, bro? Like, that's serious business. That's critical stuff, I get it. It was. Now, if I'm completely in a confession, guess who didn't eat today? Guess who didn't have his liquids today? Guess who did take his vitamins and take his antacid pills today? I did something, but I didn't do the most important thing, which was to put food in my system. If I'd have had food in my system, when I pulled that off, that wouldn't have happened. Because I was fine the whole day. I was working outside all day, right? Trying to avoid the sun. And it was somewhat dreary. It was kind of like raining, kind of overcast type weather. Lesson learned. Make sure you eat numbnuts. Man. That's pretty much going to be the end of this video. That's what I wanted to share with you. It was a pretty scary episode. I remember going into the break room and just sitting down, profusely sweating, guys. I mean, from every pore of my face, from every pore of my arm, close to where my tattoo was too, which was scary. I mean, your mind alters when you're in this like fight or flight type of mode. Like I was like, oh no, my tattoo. It was like, oh my, I need to like survive. I need to live. I need to make sure I'm standing and breathing in like 2 minutes from now. At one point, I went over to the water and I just like kneeled. I was just like, I have to recover. So things started fading away. and I regained consciousness enough to be able to stand up and enough to be able to drink water, some liquids. But let me tell you, I turned to the minute she offered me a graham cracker. I knew it was my food. That was the culprit thing. In fact, it was food so bad that when the nurses went in there, they took my vitals and they put EKG leads on me. It was like nine little stickers. Guess what was giving me a weird reading? Because I was shaking. My body was physically shaking, right? Physically, like, moving like a vibrator, right? So, yeah, lesson learned. I'm in a tough job. I'm in a tough environment. I can't go without eating. Well, guys, that's it. That's all I wanted to share. I got a tattoo. I've got my temporary plates, in the process of getting my permanent plates out here. And in the process, I also applied for a appointment to go get my driver's license switched over, which is going to happen in, get ready, June. Wah, wah, wah. Kind of lousy, I know. But anyway, so I need to get ready to pack here because my flight's about to leave in like 6 hours. I'm only going to be gone for like a day-ish and a half, so it's not really going to be that important. But in any case, the reason I'm here to tell you all this is because life is precious, life is sweet, life is divine. Take care of yourself, please. I'm speaking from experience. I was very lucky to be in a room full of people that really were like on their feet, and they were all asking me, "Are you okay? You okay?" I was like, "No, I'm not." And that's another thing, guys. Do not let your ego get a hold of you. If you're not okay, speak up, because I don't know what would have happened if I'd have said I was okay and I'd have fallen again. Luckily, I had fainted, in the bathroom where no one was noticing me. So, yeah, I'm going to end it here. Thank y'all so much for watching. I'm Sean the ToGA Brother. I'm out. I hope this never happens again. Thanks, guys, for watching.